Top right-hand corner. Protoss player for Good Game Gaming. This is nice. In the bottom left, his opponent for Kitesy Gaming. It's a Blue Terran player. This is Time. Well, Mr. Time. Mr. Time's gonna do the kind of proxy you do when you don't want to like full proxy, but you want to proxy just enough to make your opponent panic. And then they build a whole bunch of like extra pylons back at home. That's the kind of build that Time is gonna go for here. And admittedly, I mean, when Time has such a strong statistical advantage over his opponent, that's when we start to see like the weirdest builds come out, right? It makes the most sense. I mean, if you're gonna have a strong advantage, you might as well have fun. Might as well make the game enjoyable for yourself. Not to say that the game isn't like inherently, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, a reactor. Okay. It's going to be Nexus after Cybercore for nice. He's not even going to come across the map and scout this. So all of the shenanigans for nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I don't think that's going to be too big of a deal one way or the other. The honest truth is that Time is still going to capitalize on his ability to crank out 2 Marines at a time. And if that's the case, so be it. But it is just going to be 1 barracks at this current moment. Factory's going to go down at the top of the ramp. Meanwhile, the small amount of Stalker production is going to be taking place here. There is an Adept that's going to move across the map to do just some pretty basic scouting. So yeah, once again, I mean, all things considered, Time's not going to really benefit from any of his bizarre style of play. This is going to be a Twilight Council first, so no Oracles to harass, and immediately into a robotics facility. Now, Time did turn around. Oh, yeah, there is no full wall there, so that is going to be a bit annoying, having to deal with that Adept. It is going to get 1 worker kill. More than likely, that's where it's going to end. Adept should be able to get out. Has the 1 kill, so not insignificant. Does get a scout off. Oh, it's going to try and go in again. Not going to get it the second time. Does get picked off by the Reapers, so that ends up being a little bit better. Yeah, that fundamental trade, not necessarily worth it. Yeah, full wall off does come off from Nice, and it feels like the right choice here, as Nice needs to just prevent any motion into his main base. The problem is the Stalker's going to be vulnerable to these Marines. I mean, there are no shield batteries here at this point, and Time can just like safely sit back and kind of whittle away. Meanwhile, the Reapers are going to jump up into the main base here. This ends up being a really nice piece of split harassment here, as he is going to kill maybe a couple of probes. No, maybe doesn't even get 1. Shield battery saves the day. At least up on the high ground it does. And it ended up working out for Nice the way it needed to. Does get a cancel off on the leftmost gateway. Moves into 3rd base production. And it's going to be up to Time to figure out how to navigate this going forward here. No 3rd base production just yet. We do see +1 just getting started on an engineering bay. But here comes the timing for Nice. He is going to finish up Blink, and now Blink is going to be a useful component. Does show his hand, though. That is important. So Time now going to have a little bit stronger map awareness as these Stalkers are going to try coming across. but the scouting is going to be really good here. The observer gets a chance to see everything, sees where the army is and where it is not, and that means that Nice is going to be able to play a little bit more tactically. Tactically? Is that a word? Did I just make up a word? Tactfully? That's a different word. Yeah. I'm overthinking about it. Yeah, the third base does have a bit of an issue here. Okay, he's going to recall. Is he going to recall all of the stalkers? All the stalkers do come back home. He actually going to be able to grab all of them. That ends up being okay. At least it's worth the cost of the recall now. And that observer is going to stay alive here, so additional scouting taking place. 5 gateway underway as the third base is going to get started here. Nice is going to be able to see that. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nice continue to be at least a little bit aggressive with the tank on the low ground. That ends up providing an opportunity for Nice to try and get up onto the high ground and maybe zip around, cause a little bit of chaos. There isn't a whole lot here. It's just okay, that's going to be a little bit better. So yeah, now you keep the stalkers out at the front of the base, and you try and utilize the warp prism to its advantage. That works out a little bit better, but now it is protected. So time is come and gone, unfortunately. Charge is going to finish up, so that is going to prompt Nice to start making some moves here as the third base is fully saturated. Nice up only 8 workers on the whole. Main army going to try and pull out here. That should prompt Nice into a little bit of motion, but it seems like it's just going to stay put. Oh, there it does go. Warp prism going to go. What's actually here to defend? Oh, the Cyclone actually gets back and away. Some really careful micro here by Time. He keeps the Cyclone alive. Incredible. A nice little moral victory here. And Time's just going to push across the map. He's got 70 army supply to his opponents. Well, now 63. Nice round of warp-ins here. Getting an Archon added in. He's got a couple of Immortals, so that's helpful. It's going to come down to the split push here that will determine how Nice is able to navigate this. And this is a good start so far, making sure that his opponent is not able to secure that third base. 4 workers do end up going down off of the head, and a great set of force fields makes this a very impossible situation. And this is going to just jump on top of a poor rally here for Time. Time now not able to really stabilize the situation. And what's Time going to do? He's trying to go back home, but now Nice is going to try and chase this army down. So Nice able to punish on the opposite side of the map and really force his opponent into not ideal engagements on the north side of the map. That was about as good as Nice could have asked for, short of really just capitalizing on the army in a bigger way. But instead, now it's some worker damage. Nice is able to take a strong worker lead. He's at up to 70 probes to his opponent's 58 SCVs. And despite the fact that Time has a decent army advantage, 79 to 57, it feels like Nice has at least the tools at his disposal to stay abreast of the situation and not fall behind in terms of army composition. Archons are still on the menu. The robotics facilities are being added on, 2 more being added in alongside the robotics bay, static defense being added into the 3rd and 4th bases. This is just going okay for Nice. Yes, he has a supply disadvantage, but look at that probe count, ever climbing, 15 additional probes. As long as he can keep his economy going, he doesn't need to play super offensively. I mean, this is the way that he plays offensive. He defends back at home with the bulk of his army, utilizing shield batteries, and then attacks on the opposite side of the map. Just skirts by the mine. That ends up working really well, but I think he did get a glimpse of it. Yeah, some of the army is trying to reposture on the south side of the map once again. But this ends up being a decent amount of damage. A few workers are going to go down, and now a nice little aggressive warp-in. That is going to get situated before the Vikings are able to pick it off. Scout on the Ghost Academy is going to be really good. Nice is getting a decent amount of damage here. I think he's going to pick up double-digit worker kills for a pretty soft investment. He's going to get all of the cast workers, too. Ooh, pretty close. Pretty close. 15 worker kills, though. That's a nice amount of damage. And we see the battle report right there. It's actually almost even split. Yeah, but I think you want to split out. I mean, that you sacrifice the same amount of minerals to make it happen, but that your zealots are designed to kill and be done. The workers need to work. Oh, there's like a lesson in capitalism somewhere in here. Ugh, feeling a little uncomfortable right now. Local American encourages world for capitalism. More 11. Observer speed coming out here. Disruptors on the way. It's the right call here. This army has a really, really strong amount of anti-ground and big splash damage. So we're starting to see how things shifted forward. I mean, if you look at that supply, 194 to 189, now Nice is in a much better position. His economy's kicking in, and he should be able to start winning a little bit of the trade-off in terms of unit composition. The big scary part is going to be those ghosts. But that's a lot of zealots, and they're just going to wander on in. Like, whatever. They've been here before. They know their way in. Key under the doormat. Just grab it and go on into the house. Kick your feet up. That's exactly what these zealots did, and got 8 worker kills. Now, those kinds of trades are going to be a little less effective as the game goes along. So Nice can't afford to run 10 zealots in and trade out for just 8 workers. Going forward, that's going to start to really, really hurt. We can see that army value, though. I mean, the army value for time is rather significant. It's in a very, very strong position. And we got a fleet beacon out. I don't feel like carriers are the call here. Although that's probably where it's going to head. Ooh, nice little shot. I imagine we could possibly see even Tempest. I'd just be... No! For a moment, the streamer was right. Oh, nice little bio push here into the third, but that's going to force a recall. So more than anything, just burns a little bit of energy off of the Nexus. It is going to be carriers, though. Oh, for a moment. For just a brief moment. Felt smart. Oh. All right, 2 maxed out armies. Time's got a 20 army lead. But once again, it's the matchup that's really important as well. I mean, Nice has a lot of anti-ground, anti-bio. You can kind of see in that units tab. Storm really good. Archon's really good. Disruptor's really good. It's all really good. But Time's going to be able to use a lot of positioning to his advantage. He's going to be a lot more quick, a lot more nimble than his opponent. Now the carriers are going to be able to come out here and start dealing some additional damage. Liberator's going to try and anchor this spot down, and Nice is in a little bit of a weird position here. He's going to have to knock down the rocks to have a better position. He's just going to push on forward. He doesn't think that this army is going to be able to secure this location, but that's because it's doom dropping into the main base. This becomes a complicating situation here for Nice, who doesn't really have a recall to his advantage. So the fleet beacon's going to go down. One of the Stargates is going to go down. It's all going to pull apart here. This is a ton of damage here, picking off some critical buildings. The carriers are going to get picked off as well. The Vikings are not being defended against. Oh, okay, a couple of storms do end up pushing the army away, but once again, like, into what? There's nothing down here to really defend. These cannons are dealing a little bit of damage, but not a lot. It's mostly just oops all damage. Nice just completely fell apart here. Time was able to challenge his opponent up into the main base, and by the time that Time was able to be pushed away, he'd already dealt all the damage he needed to do. Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that there is plenty of money in the bank for Nice, he lost so many of his buildings. He's trying to rebuild right now. Time's going to get up in there once again. This is the speed I was referring to. Oh, what a great split. That Disruptor didn't have a chance. Didn't even get anywhere near. He's going to stem forward and pick off the remainder of these buildings. Shield Battery Overcharge going to try and help, but I mean, that's just going to be a limited amount of damage at this point. He's up 50 supply. This is starting to look a little bit dire here for the Protoss player. Time is starting to take away all of the opportunities here that Nice has to get back into the game. He's lost 10,000 more resources in this game so far. Time in a great position. It doesn't matter that he's spent his bank down and that Nice has a decent amount in the bank. The fact of the reality is Time has the resources. Nice does not to spend. The production is just not there at this point. Once again. Void Rays, I don't think are going to be quite enough. A couple of those units, or the medevacs, did get picked off. But I'm worried that this is going to be a little bit too much damage. The mortals get kind of picked away. Third base is going to be pressured once again. That actually should just be canceled. Pick up. Nope. Not quite. That was a nice little grab. But unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of those nice little grabs just to stay in this game. I mean, Nice does have the additional bases, but once again needs the production back behind it. And I think the more of these bases that get trimmed off, the worse the situation gets. That was like the world's coolest Venn diagram. Yeah, I know. You can call me a nerd. I said the words cool and Venn diagram in the same sentence. And the sentence wasn't, wow, that Venn diagram is very cool. I get it. Well, I'm finally getting my wish here. We do have Tempest on the way. 3 at a time, actually. So those are going to be better responses to the Liberators for sure. The Tempest upgrade, which I've maybe seen like 4 times in my entire life. We're gonna all learn together what that Tempest upgrade is. Don't tell me in the chat. If you want to tell me wrong answers only. Oh, that was a huge EMP on this farm. Oh, giant storm over the whole Bioforce. But I don't think it's going to matter here. All the Liberators siege up, and despite the fact that there are Tempests that are going to start picking away at these Liberators, it's just way too much bio on the ground. Although the Marines have been largely dealt with, and the Marauders and Ghosts not going to be enough to deal with this. So this army is going to have to pull back away. It was a decent amount of damage, but it didn't find the economic plug that it was actually looking for. The Liberator gains burrow. That's what I'm here for. Absolutely. 6 Tempests are out right now. That's gonna tectonic destabilizers. We've all learned together. Congratulations. That's gonna be a complicating matter here going forward. Simon being the true gentleman, waiting until it shows up to say it. He knew he knew. He just wanted to make sure I knew. I appreciate that. Really rolls off the tongue. I agree. All right. Carriers back on the menu. I mean, Nice is trying to get himself back into this. The biggest issue that he's kind of grappling with right now is upgrades. He's only going to get +2 air weapons at this moment, despite the fact that Time has had 3/3 for quite some time and +3 ship weapons. Picking up bases in the lower right-hand corner. I mean, we're approaching the 20-minute mark. Man, we've had some long-form games today. It has been quite a stream. Quite a qualifier. Okay, this is a bit of a scary force here. Immediately pops the shield battery overcharge. But time not hyper invested into the push just yet. Ooh, does want to get in there with the ghosts. Ghosts are going to be cloaked. When's the EMP going to drop here? Going to come out pretty fast. There it does go. All the shields off of all of these air units. But is it enough? The Viking count's rather low. And there's just really not enough units that are shooting up here. So there is a little bit of damage that's going to be coming down. The carriers do get picked away. I think time actually does have enough here. The units are not going to be able to fight super effectively here. And all of these probes are going to start getting picked away. 20 workers down so far. And this is going to be damage that's going to be almost impossible for the Protoss player to recover from. Losing that Nexus would not be critical damage, but it would be probably the tipping point for a GG call. But instead, Nice is not going to give up. He's never going to surrender. Never going to give you up. He's never going to let you down. He's going to build 5 more probes at a time and try to reclaim his situation. But the reality is time has all the advantages. He's lost less units. He has a better income amount. His worker count is much stronger. And he's got 182 supply to the 97 of his opponent. So the reality is time has got it. He's got all the time in the world. He just needs to go across the map and drive the final stake so that he can move himself into game number 2. It's good snipes. That should be more than enough for Vikings to really get on top of the Tempest and the carriers. Nah, not quite able to one-tap the carrier, but the Tempest just don't stand a chance. GG is called. Nice taps out, and time. It's game number 1. Yo, thanks so much, everybody, for all the follows. Really do appreciate all of the support and hanging out. We got a good crew of people. Makes me happy to see all of you. All right, I'm going to do the exact same opener here. It's kind of crazy to think that we missed out on the exact same kind. What are we looking at here, Snoopy? Oh, cool. Check out the... Cool. Thanks for that. I'm gonna let him know that. Oh wait, no, he's ahead of me by 2 minutes. I don't want to like freak him out. Be like, what happened? I'll have to tell him later though. But it's gonna be the same kind of opening here. The proxy that didn't proxy. Very possible that it will just transition into, oh, okay. No reactor first this time. So that's where life's going to be a little bit different. Nexus still coming out pretty fast. I'm going to go into a little bit more economic focus this time around as well. So I think ultimately we're going to see a slower opening here for game number 2. All right, so the one Marine to rule them all, and then into the reactor for time. Ooh, this time it's going to be a Stargate opening. So instead of the early pathway into Blink, it's going to be a little bit more constructed in oracles. And I think reality, this is probably not a major concern for time. Nice is going to get the scout off here Is he gonna see anything at the top of the ramp? He's gonna see the tech lab on the factory, but that's not anything outlandish. Dep's gonna go down though. That's a bit of an interesting choice here for Nice, losing out on the first adept. That means that these are not going to one-tap workers because it takes 3 adept shots to kill off 1 SCV. So slightly less efficient, all things considered. Now with an Oracle, I mean, that kind of changes things up a little bit. Gets into a little bit more interesting position. Things can be a little bit more aggressive. Now it becomes the Oracle that deals damage. The reality is that he's just gonna tap and go. He just wants the scouting information. Cool. My line of thought completely derailed. I love it. Ooh, he's gonna pick up a Phoenix though. Yo, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that a lot. And thanks for the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to get a little bit more positional awareness here for Time, who is kind of blocking off his back path here with that engineering bay. So Marine's not able to get quite as much protection along the line. Nice is gearing up, though. He wants to get across here. He doesn't have an army advantage. It's 24-16 in Time's favor, but a lot of the army units that Nice has are pretty effective, all things considered. So yeah, picking off the Raven, a great start here. Does lose one of his oracles, though, so it wasn't for free. Tank's going to get a little bit of friendly fire damage, but not enough workers to probably justify it. In fact, if he got 1, I'd be surprised. I think he just damaged a whole bunch of workers, and that was about it. Ooh, 5 gateway. The production is starting to ramp up here for Nice, who wants to start capitalizing on his small economic gain. More Phoenix than Oracle, though, means that the liftoffs are going to be more important than the Oracle damage. So the Oracle is more than likely going to be used to spot for enemies and revelate wherever possible. Lots of Marine Marauder coming out here. So Time going to start capitalizing on his own aggression as well. But look at this. It's a very far forward proxy warp gate. I don't hate that. I mean, these army units are going to try and pull this off to the left-hand side, but it seems like it's not even going to be phased. Time's just going to start moving forward here. I think he realizes he's got an opportunity to capitalize. The unit count is painfully low for Nice. He's only got 15 Zealots, which is admittedly a decent amount, but this is a scary army here. And it seems like Nice wants to try and utilize the proxy as a means of getting some backstab damage, when in reality, he's going to need all of the warpage he can get back here at home. This ends up being a pretty decent engagement. Really nice stutter stepping. 5 workers did end up going down. Is he going to be able to finish? The tank is still alive! How did that tank still survive? 7 workers end up going down. Now the tank finally gets picked off. Oh, there are 2 proxy gateways. 2 of them. One at the 9 o'clock position as well on the mini-map. I mean, if Nice can utilize them, not only are they going to get good scouting information, but it'll be super useful. Yeah, look at all of these Zealots here. These Zealots are actually chewing through this Bioforce. This is starting to look a little bit dire here. Those mines have to be the mines of the century, and they only get friendly fire. GG. Time is knocked into game number 3 here. Nice with some very, very, very good play. Keeps himself alive. Okay, Nice went out with the super early probe this time around. Life is much different than it used to be. Oh, he wants the Omega harassment. Interesting. Oh, he gets the gas steal. All right. So Nice wants the upset here. Gets the gas steal, which will be an interesting development here for the Protoss player. He's gonna let it complete as well, which makes sense. I mean, he's trying to steal. But now that means it's going to be more time back at home spent trying to free up that second gas, make things a little bit more doable. And it looks like Nice still wants to stay proxied on the map. I like it. This is Nice has got a really strong timing going here. Now, Time is going to scout that there is no Nexus on the way. So that's going to be very telling information. That should be enough to start warranting at least like a visceral response of some kind. And he's going to throw down a bunker. I just worried it's not enough. It's a proxy robo. Like, hello? Is this... I missed something? Is this a PvP? Well, I mean... we're not getting anything too wild. I mean, warp gate's on the way. There's not a lot of gates. Well, maybe this has a immortal alongside the warp prism. I'm not entirely sure at this point. We're gonna learn about this together. Oh, he's supply blocked. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, so the Reaper is going to find the proxy. Very smart. Drops the gateway. Drops the additional pylon. Dep's going to try and find a little bit of damage too. Oh, it does pick off one of those SCVs. It's going to grab a second SCV as well. So additional gas being delayed here. And this is a brutal situation here for Time, who needs to win if he wants to keep advancing forward, but Nice is looking to secure the upset. And this would be an upset indeed. Immortal's here, though. So this is starting to become increasingly problematic here for the Terran player, who needs to get a tank out to help anchor this down. But this is not going to be a good situation here. He's going to get supply blocked here by this supply depot going down. So yeah, this is a very, very big moment here for the Terran player. Second set of units coming in here. Stalkers getting warped in. One tank to rule them all. But is it going to be enough? Oh, the tank's focused on the extractor. That's wild. All right, second Immortal going to be finishing up here in just a moment as well. But the Adepts are diving up and in. Tank has been relocated just enough here, trying to keep that factory alive. Is Time. He will keep it alive for right now. Having a second tank would be really, really helpful, but he's losing some workers off the head here. 3 workers do end up going down so far. Repositioning those units away from the tank is incredibly important, and that just seems to be the modus operandi to stay on top of. One Immortal does end up going down. That's a bit of a misplay. Second Nexus on the way. Nice isn't 100% all in on this. He's getting a lot of good damage done. I'm hanging on though. He did rescue his second base though. Yeah? Yeah, I'm like pretty confident. It's something. It's on the south side. Is that tank number 3? I think that's tank number 3. Time's stabilizing. He's really stabilizing this down. Yeah, the bunker's gone down. Times feels like he's won this. I mean, Nice can try and punish this if he's really feeling confident. There is still no stim pack just yet. A lot of these units are rather weakened. The Dark Shrine goes down. Nice is not feeling great about his position right now, despite the fact that he is getting a second base. Is still concerned just enough that this has not been enough damage to justify getting away. I mean, he does have a worker advantage here. It's 34 workers to 32 of time, but Time is doing his best to close the gap as much as possible. Oh, this is going to just like develop into a normal game. Absolutely crazy stuff here. Okay, Nice going to double back here again. Tanks have been brought to the low ground, so now this this fighting squad is going to be a little bit harder to deal with, especially with Marines that don't have medevac support. So every stim is very, very precious. Charge going to be finishing up here in just a hot second. Not quite enough time to be able to warp in. The warp gates are incoming, though. 5 on the production tab right now, and those are going to be largely finishing up here in just the next moment. The observer did end up getting picked off, so that is important information to keep track of. A couple of Archons going to be brought into the mix as well. It seems like Nice needs to try and capitalize on this moment. Time is getting a little bit too far ahead. +1's going to be finishing up in just a moment. There's no upgrades on the way for Nice. Nice is all the way in on this push here. He's going to try and win the game. He's falling almost way too far behind, and this is about the only way that he can get this done. The Immortals and the Stalkers on the front here are going to try and get as much done as humanly possible, and these units up in the main base need to find some major damage, but they're just not close enough to those Marines, and he doesn't want to lose all of those valuable Archons. I think all of the units in the front, okay, they did pull back, so they didn't get killed just yet. Oh, this is just becoming increasingly painful. Time scans and sees there are no additional bases, so every second that goes by is great for the Terran player. Yeah, he can rest knowing that he's in a great position. He's going to throw down his third base. He has double the army supply of his opponent. Nice is going to try and do the ninja expansion. Really? Really? Oh, I mean, Nice is trying so hard, but there's just no angle. There's no angle for him to work here. One of those Archons does end up going down. Yeah, this is just quickly pulling away. And DTs are going to be helpful, but they're not going to be the winning component here. I mean, I would be surprised. He's got +1 on the way too. Oh, I think the expand in the bottom right has been discovered, so that's going to be problematic for Nice, who is consistently 30 supply behind. Oh, yeah, look at the transfer. Oh, all the probes are headed over. Oh. Not great. That's gonna be a problem. Open season. That might just be enough to do it. This is gonna get partially denied. I think he's just gonna try and gun it down. He's not gonna get it though. Not gonna have quite enough. But picking off 9 workers is a great start. Time's already got the momentum that he needs. Oh, the feedbacks on the medevac. Doesn't quite kill it off though. 4 health. Health is just a resource. Always remember that, folks. If you've got 1 HP, you're good to go. So it's gonna be warp prism speed. Nice wants to get back into this game, and he wants to get into it by shenanigans. And admittedly, these storm drops are, I mean, it's possible. I mean, 8 workers right off the head. Gonna get +1 going on his ground units. Is Nice working towards a comeback here? He's certainly trying. I mean, Nice is going to get an engagement here, but it's going to come at the cost of his 3rd base. Well, I guess technically 4th base on the opposite side of the map. Are there enough reinforcements here to deal with this? I'm not sure. Well, this is actually starting to look a little scary here for Time, who is going to lose a giant chunk of his economy. These workers are going to get targeted down pretty fast. Enhanced shockwaves have been researched, so Nice is bringing this back here. Time has a giant army supply, though. I mean, that cannot be understated, but he definitely only has 15 workers now at this point. And Nice is going to get out his most valuable units. Okay. Well, this is the best opportunity that Nice has had in the last 10 minutes. I am beyond reasonably impressed. But that army is still very, very scary. 78 to 41. And it's now currently in position to take out this base and a whole bunch of workers as well. Gosh, this is just, they're just slugging each other. What a slugfest. What a back and forth here. Yeah, that forge is finally gonna get picked off here. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that Nice is on the verge of bringing this back, but I cannot stress enough. 57 workers to 9. It's like a 44. No. 34. 34 army supply difference here. Nice has got to find something to kill things. That's the important part. Otherwise, Time's just going to bulldoze his opponent. Okay, the reality of the situation here is that Nice is getting a lot of good kills, and he's got disruptors at this point. So now all of a sudden, Terran's going to do Terran things and start lifting up, and he absolutely needs to. He needs to buy himself enough time for this army on the other side of the map to get some work done. The probes have been pulled to the top side of the map, so that is a helpful situation, but Nice doesn't have enough to build anything more than just a pylon. That's it. That's all that remains here for the Protoss player. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned base race. And now we're at a point where all of a sudden we see the supplies are starting to get closer together. It's 54 to 49 army supply. Holy cow. Where did he get enough resources to build a Nexus? He must have canceled something. He must have had something in the queue and he canceled it. All right, well, Nexus in the 12 o'clock position is super helpful here for Nice, but he's got to be able to clean up all the buildings here. Otherwise, it's always going to be a losing battle. 19 probes left at this point, and not all the buildings being killed back at home, but the reality is it doesn't need to be. So how much is tied up here in disruptors? It's 5 disruptors. I mean, that's enough. That's enough to dance with Bio. This is getting crazy. This is getting crazy. There are enough probes there to help soak up some of the fight. I mean, this is going to come down to one big engagement here. Okay, oh, first EMP does miss, but that's not a terrible thing. It's just, it can't happen over and over again. Okay, second EMP only hits 1 Zealot. I mean, plenty of energy here. Plenty of time. Some really good situations here. I mean, Nice has the statistical advantage here. He's got more army supply. Disruptor shots can continue to try and bait forward. Both players just utilizing their caster abilities. This is really important here, but right now Nice is starting to get bullied back into a corner. He can't afford to get clumped up. There goes the EMP coating most of the army here. All of the shields have been dealt with here, but that's a great shot on the disruptor. The Nexus is becoming the target, but I don't think that needs to be the target right now. I think that's just a trap for time. If he's not careful, he's gonna fall into that trap. This is becoming a really careful situation here. It's 36 to 34. The supplies, you have to stare at the army count. The workers are not going to be major helps here, but it's a matter of getting resources right now for Nice. He's just trying to get as many minerals as possible while keeping this army alive. A shield battery overcharge, keeping things alive as well. This is becoming a scary situation here. That tank slowly but surely coming forward. It needs to be a part of this fight, but it can't get too far forward or else a disruptor will absolutely delete it from the map. A giant EMP over the army here on the right-hand side. Again, this army is bullied so far back into the corner. The Nexus, once again, trying to become the focus of attention for time. He just needs to kill anything that can get in his way. Every zealot that goes forward, every stalker that comes forward to bait out a shot is one step closer to victory, but then a disruptor from the back just triggers an entire engagement here, and everything gets picked up for Nice. Time. He's done it. 32 to 8 supply. The probes get pulled, but it's too late. Time has advanced himself on in the bracket. Nice with the sneak attack, but it's not enough. GG. What a crazy end to the game. Time wins it 2-1.